looking at a Tulski Field in Mishawaka, where tonight TV 46 begins its 33rd season of high school football coverage with a Princess City top 10 clash. Number 8 Mishawaka faces number 4 Marian on this edition of the 46 Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? Between the Hall of Famers, now my fellow Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt. It's Chuck Freeby, my 19th season, his 17th. He came with the transmitter. The Mishawaka Cavemen are trying not to repeat something that they did last year, which is win 0 trophies. They didn't win the conference, they didn't win the sectional. It's the first time it happened under Keith Kinder's reign. But they have a veteran group coming back who are trying to rectify that problem.
Cavemen have a lot of pride, and they worked really hard in the offseason. They've got a quarterback coming back who's gotten a little bit bigger, and I think Brady Fisher's going to do a great job for them. You got Chaz Hardy in the backfield along with Chase Gooden. That's a pretty good start. Defensive secondary is going to be a little suspect, but they'll come along as the season does.
And Keith Kinder, as you might expect, still nervous about this opening game. You're a 40-year-old man. Why do you have goosebumps tonight?
Well, I'm 41. My wife tells me I am, because I don't know what's going to happen. You know, the first game it's so crazy because, you know, you prepare them as best you can, but in the end, it's 16, 17, 18-year-old kids who haven't played football in a long time, and many of them who haven't played at this speed yet. So just not knowing what's going to happen is what keeps me up.
The Marian Knights made it to the semi-state last year. That's nothing new. They've done that 4 of the last 5 years, but graduation hit this team hard. Michael Davidson still has a weapon, though, at quarterback, in Bryce Lassane, and that's a pretty good place to start.
Bryce is nice to have back, but a lot of the guys that caught those passes last year aren't here, so they're going to have to develop a little bit, maybe a shorter passing game, swing some out passes, that kind of thing. They do have a good running back, and Leopino Sete, who's a real tough little guy and a good center of balance, but they've got some questions in the secondary, and they've got some young guys in the linebacker, but you know what, it's a process, and like Michael said, a few years ago we had a young team went to the semi-state. We think we can do it again, and Michael Davidson, you know, feeling pretty confident about meeting Mishawaka again.
Without a doubt. It's a championship level program. It's a program that we know they're going to be well coached. We know they're going to be, if not one of the most physical teams we're going to play this year. So we got our hands full, but it prepares us for weeks 2 and beyond as well.
Bo Hunt joins us on the sidelines again this year. And Bo, if there's one thing we know on opening night, it's that we don't know anything. But we do know both these teams at some point in the season are going to face adversity with kids who may not have faced a lot of it before. How do you prepare for that?
I think the biggest thing as a coach is during practices, during the offseason, you try to put them in as many pressure situations as you can to have them overcome those pressure situations. You try to put them in situations where they actually fail so they learn from those failures. But some of the things that you can't prepare for most of the time is the heat, the cramps, some of the injuries that are going to happen out there. Those things are just part of the game. And so somebody else is going to have to step up, and you're going to have to adjust to the hits out there as well tonight.
Coaches want you outside your comfort zone. We're glad you found yours, and that's with us. We've got the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show and the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win next on the 46 Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Interra Credit Union, HealthLink, Jordan Automotive Group, TCU, Electrical Workers, Crown Trophy, St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. The Marian Knights have exploded onto a Tulski Field, ready to try to defend their home turf against their city rivals, the Mishawaka Cavemen, who are about to make their way out. And we're about to give you the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win for tonight's game between the Cavemen and the Knights. We'll start with the visitors from Mishawaka, who will be led this year at quarterback by the 6'3" junior Brady Fisher. The 180-pounder is the youngest of the 3 Fisher brothers. He threw for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns as a backup last year. But with his 365 yards rushing, he actually wound up being the 3rd leading rusher on the Cavemen last season. So he can flip it and he can run it. but he'll have some help in the backfield from Chase Gooden, a 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. The 5'9", 185-pound senior has some powerful legs. He's an explosive athlete who can burst through the hole in a hurry. The keys to win for Keith Kinder and the Cavemen.
Well, first of all, like any team on the road, you don't want to help Marian with any turnovers. Got to be careful to take care of the ball. You got to be great on first down. 6 to 8 is great yardage for this football team, and they have to pursue and tackle. It's got to be a joint venture on every play. Keith Kinder is in his 5th season at 35-13.
Meanwhile, for the Marian Knights, they are led at quarterback by Bryce Lassane, the 6'1", 183-pound junior. Had a sensational sophomore season. In fact, he set the Marian single-season passing record a year ago with 1,813 passing yards and 19 touchdowns. But with a lot of those weapons gone, he'll need some help on both sides of the line of scrimmage from Kyle Dennison. The 6', 225-pound senior is expected to be the anchor of both the offensive and defensive lines for Michael Davidson's squad. The keys to win for Michael Davidson's Knights.
Well, Marian's got to match the points that Mishawaka puts up. You don't want to chase the Cavemen. You don't want to have them force you into a passing game when you want to have good balance. They have to handle adversity, and it will come in week 1, but they've got to learn from it as well, and they got to stay fresh. Depth will matter, and if you're in a uniform tonight for Marian, be ready to play. Michael Davidson in his 5th season is 41-12.
We are counting down to kickoff for the 37th meeting between the Cavemen and the Knights. Mishawaka leading the all-time series 23-13. The first meeting back in 1969. Last year, Mishawaka won on this field 43-16. You may wonder why they're playing on the same field 2 years in a row. With the reshuffling of the NLC schedules and the fact that Mishawaka wants to add Penn next year, they had to shift some home games around, and this was the one they decided to change. The officials for tonight's game come from the state of Michigan. They had the night off, so they came down here. Todd Gooding, Joel Jolink, Rob King, Bob Garvelick, and Randy Small. And I guess that's the biggest sign we can give you, that there's still an official shortage in Indiana, and they need you to sign up and be part of this great sport. What a night here in the Princess City. Mayor Dave Wood has declared it a Chamber of Commerce night. 82 degrees at kickoff. The wind, a gentle zephyr out of the southwest at 8 miles an hour. There's not a chance that any of those big puffy cumulus clouds bring us any rain tonight.
All right, partner, here's a check on the uniforms for this game, brought to you by St. Andrews Products. The home team, the Marian Knights, will be wearing blue jerseys with silver pants, and they also have some new look on their helmets with the Marian script M, and it's a new logo for them. Mishawaka is a visiting team. They'll wear white jerseys and maroon pants. They got white helmets with maroon trim. These teams look great, and so can your team. For the latest on apparel and promotional products, contact St. Andrews Products at sales@standrewscorp.com.
That is Chaz Hardy. He is the deep return man for the Mishawaka Cavemen. And Drew Jank gets ready to kick it off for the Marian Knights. A great crowd on hand here at Atulski Field, as you might expect when these two city rivals go head-to-head. And speaking for our entire crew, including our producer-director, Dean Korsmo, we could not be more excited to be back with you for another season of high school football on TV 46.
The field looks great. They've done a great job in preparation for this game. It means so much to both teams, and it means a lot to our team as well. And here to call it, the Indiana Football Hall of Famer, Chuck Freeby.
Drew Jank, the 6', 222-pound senior, gets ready to put toe to leather, and the 2022 season is underway. Chaz Hardy from his 11. Hardy found a hole and got out to the 31-yard line. Good field position for the Cavemen, for Brady Fisher to get the start at quarterback. Fisher, the 6'3", 180-pound junior, unflappable according to his head coach. Good three-sport athlete. He also plays basketball and golf at Mishawaka. We'll meet that Caveman lineup after our opening play with Chase Gooden in the backfield behind Fisher. Gooden wears 44. Trey Thomas and Ace Troyer split to the sides, but the handoff to Gooden. He bursts through the hole, and he is on his way. Chase Gooden will go 69. No, he trips on the turf. He trips over his own 2 feet down at the 10-yard line. Oh, he would have had a 69-yard jaunt to pay dirt. Instead, it's only 59. Gooden had plenty on this one, but he just didn't have enough left in the tank at the end to make it to the end zone.
A little Bob Nagel in him. Wow.
Still a great pickup and a Bonnie Doon drive-in first down for Mishawaka.
That's how you do that.
We'll hold off on the starting lineups until maybe after this play. Oh, Gooden is going to take a rash when they look at film. Tell you that. And it's Fisher keeping it himself, and the big fella's stacked up at about the 6-yard line. Let's meet the Mishawaka offense. Besides Fisher and Gooden, Chaz Hardy, a dependable back. Bean Smith has gotten a lot better at the wing. The entire offensive line is back. That includes 4-year starter Dawson Nowacki and All-State junior Tanner Parmley. 2nd and goal for the Cavemen from the 8-yard line. Fisher getting the play call from the sideline. Kyle Shaw, the offensive coordinator for this squad. Play clock is down to 9. Handoff Gooden, and he is shut down by the Mishawaka defensive line. Kyle Dennison leading the charge there, and he should be because he's one of 3 returning starters in this group. Caden Middleton gained a lot of experience at linebacker. He's the most experienced in that crew. Good veteran safeties with Brian Bolduc and Michael Prisgoda. So Mishawaka suddenly looking at a 3rd and 5 here. And what a break Marian got when Gooden tripped over his own 2 feet. We'll see if it winds up leading to a Knights goal line stand. It's Hardy in motion. Hardy on the sweep. Stopped right there. He could not get around the outside in Caden Middleton. And Middleton coming up with a big hit at the 5-yard line, and you'll get another look from R&B Car Company. Kyle Dennison helped finish it off, and it looks as though Keith Kinder is going to send his field goal unit out. And that means Lucas Larson, a 6', 180-pound junior, with Brady Fisher as the holder. Larson about to try a 23-yarder, his first varsity field goal attempt. The snap is clean, the kick is up, and it is good. So the Mishawaka Cavemen draw first blood, but it sure could have been worse for Marian as the Knights managed to get a goal line stand, and Lucas Larson is true. Cavemen lead at 3-zip on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and invested. Mishawaka off to a 3-0 lead after an impressive opening drive.
69 yards and 5 plays. Of course, the big play of the run by Chase Gooden of 58 yards, but Marian's defense jumped up. You know, it didn't do any good for them to get a break by Gooden going down until they got to stop, and so they really came to the fore. Nice field goal opportunity, first time out for Mishawaka.
Lucas Larson has it on the tee. He'll do the kicking. Leopino Sete is the deep man, but this one going off to the side, and that's Brian Osmond. And Osmond trying to get loose and brought down on special teams. Terrific coverage by the Cavemen that time as Jackson Snyder gets over and makes the tackle in the open field, and it'll be back at around the 15-yard line. That means Bryce Lesane will not have the best of field position as he stands next to offensive coordinator Brett Badek. And Lesane will lead this Marian offense onto the field. 6'1" junior. Baseball might be his best sport, but it doesn't keep him from throwing the ball really well on the football field.
A lot of little out routes we saw during practice, and maybe finding a back out of the backfield. Sete is a good pass receiver.
And Sete is next to Lesane in the gun. And it's Lesane on a keeper. He didn't run it much last year. Only picks up about 2 or 3 that time before he's tripped up by Carmine Orozco for the tackle. Let's meet the Marian offense. Besides Sete, Braxton Brooks and Jack D-Roll will carry the football somewhat. Michael Prisgoda, a very talented receiver, as is Deuce Owens. The strength of the team is in the offensive line, where Kyle Dennison, Mikey Fuller, and Jack Brennan give veteran talent. Lassane throws out in the flat. Sete with a nice grab, but good pursuit to the football by Aiden Hooten helps the Mishawaka defense stop that for only a pickup of about 3. On defense for the Cavemen, Balin Eby anchors that defensive line. Isaac Valdez, the top returning tackler from a year ago at the linebacker slot. In the secondary, talent at the corners with Malik Washington and Trey Thomas, but some inexperience in the safety slots with Newsom and Troyer. Marian looking at a 3rd and 7. Lassane wants to throw, has time and dumps it out. Sete makes the catch but can't get to the first down marker as Trey Thomas is there to make the stop. It's a 3 and out for Marian, and the punting unit will have to come onto the field.
Those are the swing passes we were talking about, Chuck, but Mishawaka's pursuit has been terrific. And what you want to do with Bryce Lassane early in the game, get him a couple of completions. He's going to be playing with a little more confidence now as we see the Knights give up the football.
Now Drew Jank has to kick from deep in his own territory, almost all the way back to his own goal line. Chaz Hardy, the punt returner for Mishawaka, stands at his own 45. High floating snap, but Jank gets off a booming kick. Hardy's going to let this one hit, and it takes a Marian roll, boy howdy, all the way down to the 32-yard line. So that is a 46-yard kick with no return, but still Mishawaka with good field position from its 32.
No question about it. Hey, we'd like to thank Barnaby's of Mishawaka for providing dinner for the production crew tonight. They're proud to sponsor high school athletics and want to wish both teams good luck in this upcoming season. Barnaby's.
Brady Fisher leading his team out. He led them to a field goal on the opening possession of the season. Let's see what they do with possession 2. Again, it's Chase Gooden behind him in the backfield. Hardy in motion, but it's Gooden on the handoff, and this time Marian ready for him, as he was only able to get up to about the 34-yard line, a pickup of 2 for Gooden. Marian defense stalwart that time. Caleb Johnson helping lead the charge. And Aiden Kelly was in there as well. Mishawaka in the 5th year of the Keith Kinder era. 35-13 in his previous 4 seasons with 3 sectionals and 1 regional title. On 2nd and 8, it's Gooden on the quick hitter up the middle. Lost the football, but Mishawaka pounces on it on the recovery, as one of the offensive linemen, Garrett Ginter, was quick to recover the ball at the 41-yard line. Gooden will be given a pickup of about 7 on the play. You see that Middleton was able to strip him of the football, but Ginter was able to dive in there and keep Mishawaka from turning the ball over.
One of those keys to win for Mishawaka was not to turn the ball over. Came close right there. Marian would have had it in Mishawaka territory.
Now a big 3rd and 1. You would think this veteran Mishawaka offensive line would get some surge, and it doesn't hurt when your quarterback's 6'3". A first down, sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In. Fisher pushes it up to the 43-yard line, and the Cavemen will keep the drive going.
That is a big fella. Sheriff Goslin Roofing is the oldest roofing company in the area with over a century of experience under their roof. They provide great service, a large selection of roofing styles, and the best guarantees and warranties in the business. Call for a free roof inspection or estimate. Sheriff Goslin Roofing.
There you see Keith Kinder on that Caveman sideline, 1999 Jimtown grad. 2-time state champion at quarterback for the Jimmies. Here's Gooden smashing off the right side, picks up about 3 yards on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 7. One of the things Keith Kinder told us at practice the other day, Bob, was they have to win big on first down, both offensively and defensively. So far tonight, they've done a pretty good job of it.
And, you know, when they get 3 or 4 yards on first down, you multiply that times 3, and you say, well, they're on pace for a first down, and they don't mind this at all. And it wears the defense down a little bit when you do it that way. And, boy, I tell you, that first play was explosive, and they've been going right back at it.
From their own 46-yard line, it's 2nd and 7. Fisher checks the wristband. And a timeout called by Mishawaka as they got to sort things out. That'll give us a chance to thank one, maybe 2 of our sponsors tonight.
Yeah, first of all, Marian High School. Marian students learn with humility, serve with compassion, and lead with integrity in the classroom and on the athletic fields and in the community. This legacy began over 55 years ago. Learn more how you can be part of this tradition and become a Knight by visiting our website at marianhs.org. Go Knights!
Visit South Bend, Mishawaka sponsors our factoids, and one we want to tell you about is the guys that are coming back that are the best in the long run. And you already saw Chase Gooden get off to a 59-yard run tonight. Well, he is the 6th leading returning rusher in the area. Noah Mungia of New Prairie topped everybody, but those were the 6 backs who were underclassmen last year who rushed for 1,000 yards or more.
Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies is the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. We specialize in process components for major industries, including aerospace, medical, and military and defense. IFT is excited about our 60-year history and looking forward to the challenges ahead. At Imagineering Finishing Technologies, quality is a way of life.
On 2nd and 7, it's Gooden again. No, they gave it off to Bean Smith. Great deception in the backfield by Fisher. And actually, it was Fisher himself who got the football. So he gets up to the Marian 44-yard line. We'll watch it again so I can see what happened on the R&B Car Company replay.
That's good ball faking right there.
Good job by Brady Fisher as he takes it up to the 44. We told you a year ago, Fisher ran for 365 yards and a couple of touchdowns for the Cavemen. And that was only as a sophomore. And Fisher now will pitch to Chaz Hardy, and Hardy bursts through a hole on the outside and picks up about 5 before he's taken down on a nice play by Brian Boltink, the safety. But that was good presence of mind by Fisher that time because the play gets busted at the line of scrimmage, and he's able to kick it outside to Hardy.
Well, Hardy looked like he had a lot of room out there when he turned it up. Boltink made a nice stop.
He closed well on that one. It's 2nd and 5, 4.5 minutes to go first quarter. Cavemen lead it 3-zip. Mishawaka coming off an 8-3 season last year. The quarterback Justin Fisher now will walk on at the University of Notre Dame. This is Brady Fisher on the carry, and Brady Fisher has a first down sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In as he takes it up to the Marian 33. And this is your patented Mishawaka march right here.
It really is. And Fisher's got 3 carries for 18 yards. But Gooden, 73 yards already in this ball game on 5 carries.
Michael Prisgoda able to come over and make the stop that time for the Knights. The split ends, Ace Troyer 21, Trey Thomas 3, out wide. Cavemen haven't thrown a pass yet tonight, but they will here. Fisher airing it out for Trey Thomas, who makes the grab. And did he get in? Just out of bounds, short of the goal line. Trey Thomas out of bounds at the 2. And you'll get another look on the R&B Car Company replay. And Brady Fisher threw a beautiful ball to Thomas that time, who just missed the pylon.
Boy, Chuck, you just, the way you said that was, let's see, he hadn't thrown a pass yet. Well, that's kind of what they do. They'll run the ball about 12 times and maybe try to surprise you, and they did and did a great job.
So Thomas hauls in a 32-yard reception, good for a Bonnie Doon drive-in first down. And now on 1st and goal, Chase Gooden to the end zone, touchdown, Mishawaka. Gooden punches it in for his first TD of the year. He had 12 of them a year ago, and the Cavemen have opened up a 9-0 lead. You get another look from R&B Car Company. Look at the surge by that offensive line. Matthew Willis and Tanner Parmley just like bulldozers moving people out of the way.
Yeah, for every minute of playing time they didn't get last year, they had great examples ahead of them to show them how to do that.
And of course, that offensive line back intact from a year ago. Mishawaka 1 person short on the special teams. The play clock down to 5, so Fisher will take the snap in a hurry, and there's some movement along the line of scrimmage, and they'll have to move it back 5 yards.
And some of you will have grassers to do on Monday.
Nothing like making the special teams coach unhappy.
First penalty of the game for either team. Folks, CB Custom Painting is a proud sponsor of Marian football. I'd like to wish the team good luck all season. Special shout out from former Marian teammate Maddox Begonia. He says, "Go Knights," and appreciate all of their support.
Lucas Larson's kick somehow makes it over the crossbar. It wasn't pretty, but it's still a point, and it's 10-0 Mishawaka. And that was quite the drive put together by the Cavemen as they marched 68 yards and only had one passing play in there. The rest of the damage done on the ground.
Outstanding job. As you said, Chuck, they threw one pass in that mixture, but they had 10 carries on the ground, including the touchdown.
Time now for our TCU trivia question tonight, as we want to know, or at least the folks at TCU do, Marian has Indiana's second longest current streak with 7 sectional championships. What school has the longest streak? We'll give you a chance to think about that, maybe even get out the Google machine, and we'll tell you a little bit about it a little bit later, as the Cavemen faithful have plenty to cheer about in the early going.
And they've got 4 first downs on that drive, and they've got 6 in the ball game. Eating up clock, eating up yardage. That's what they do.
Lucas Larson with the ball on the tee. Leopino Sete, the deep man for Marian. High spinning kick. Sete will take it, drop it at his 10, pick it up at the 15. Sete's got room to run. Look out! Leopino Sete down the sidelines, knocked out of bounds at the 27. A huge special teams play for Marian. Michael Davidson warned his team at practice on Wednesday special teams would play a huge role in this game. That one went from disaster to glory in a heartbeat.
They mark it at the 26, and Sete, he's just a real strong young man. He got in the open. He had some jets, but the Mishawaka guys were closing, but he maximized what he was going to get, and that's a big play to turn momentum back toward Marian.
Jack Troyer was the man who knocked him out of bounds, but now let's see what Marian can do. They had terrible field position their first possession. Here on their second, they're in plus territory. D-roll and Prisgoda a stack down at the bottom. But Lassane looking, fires over the middle. It's intercepted by Jack Troyer. Back at the 1-yard line. Troyer weaving his way through the season and down to the 28. Lassane threw that ball where he had literally no receivers in the area. And Troyer made the snag. You'll get another look from R&B Car Company.
Chuck, I'm thinking that somebody was getting up after this play. I don't know if somebody went down. No, evidently not. That's just good center fielding by Troyer.
D-roll might have been behind him in the end zone, but Troyer had him well covered. And so Mishawaka gets the ball back after the first turnover of the game at their own 28-yard line.
Well, Marian's time of possession is going to be really weak here.
I was thinking the same thing. They've only had 4 plays on offense. Meanwhile, Mishawaka just churning the legs of Chase Gooden one more time for a 2-yard pickup.
Folks, the original Bonnie Doon Drive-In in Lincoln Way has your favorites. Stop by this weekend for delicious Bonnie burger, fries, and a root beer float. For over 84 years, Bonnie Doon has been part of the community. Great food, rich, creamy ice cream make Bonnie Doon a favorite destination for a cool treat. Grab a taste of nostalgia at the Bonnie Doon Drive-In. Check their Facebook page for daily specials.
2nd and 8. Hardy in motion, but it's good and slamming off the left side, and Boltink brings him down. After a pickup of about 5, it'll be 3rd and short. Let's answer our TCU trivia question tonight. Marian has Indiana's second longest current streak with 7 sectional championships. Who has the longest? No, Mr. Beck, it is not Chittard. It is Center Grove with 11. But I'm glad we could give the online viewers something to play along with tonight. 3rd and 1. Handoff up the middle, and Chase Gooden has a Bonnie Doon drive-in first down up to the 41-yard line. The fullback galloping for about 4 yards, and in a lot of offenses, the fullback is a dead position, but not in the flex bone, and certainly not at Mishawaka.
84 yards and 8 carries for Gooden so far, averaging just over 10 yards a carry. That's not a bad average.
That would be not a bad night, and that's not even out of the first quarter yet. And the Marian defense, you wonder how much gas is left in the tank after this first quarter. Gooden going to test him again, but this time he can only pick up one. Good closing that time by the Marian defense, as it looked like Ryan Denard got in there on the stop that time. Oh, we have viewers tonight from North Carolina. I was told we might have one from Finland tonight. Is that right? Keith Kinder's brother apparently is over there on business, quote unquote.
Yeah, good for him.
2nd and 9 from the 42. Gooden up the middle, picked up about 3, and it'll be 3rd and long for the Cavemen. This is not the situation. Keith Kinder likes to find his offense in here at 3rd and 6.
Well, when they're averaging about 10 yards a carry, 3rd and 6 isn't a huge worry, but the Knights with a chance to get a stop.
22 on the play clock, 40 on the game clock, so the Cavemen will have to run something here before the first quarter expires. Mason Smith in the game. He's split wide to the right of Brady Fisher. But Fisher's going to hand it off to Gooden, and he got the first down and more. Chase Gooden dragging tacklers up to the Marian 34-yard line. A 20-yard pickup for Gooden on the play, and he's over 100 yards already for the night. He had 4 100-yard games a year ago.
108 yards. And that may well be the last play because guys have gotten up a little bit slow, but that Marian defense, boy, they got to be pretty tired out there, partner.
By the way, that was good for a Bonnie Doon drive-in first down. A first quarter completely dominated by the Mishawaka Cavemen. They got off to a great start on the first play of the season with Chase Gooden exploding for a 59-yard run. That resulted in a field goal. Then this Brady Fisher pass to Trey Thomas set up a Gooden score, and Jack Troyer came up with a big pilfer deep in Caveman territory. It's 10-0 Mishawaka after 1 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Time for our Bill's Heating Sideline Report. We go down to our new sideline correspondent, Ernest Hemingway. Oh, excuse me, that's Bo Hunt. I almost didn't recognize you.
I think the biggest thing with that first half is the amount of time that Mishawaka's offense spent on the field and how Marian's defense is going to react to that the rest of this game. Because being out here, especially in the first half, the sun beating down, the heat that's out here really gets to you, and especially that first game. People don't understand you can prep for it as much as you want in the offseason, but until you get out here and get into live action, it's not the real thing. So we'll see how Marian's defense responds here in the second quarter, guys.
Indeed, conditioning was one of the concerns Michael Davidson had.
Mishawaka runs for 130 yards, passes for 32, 162 total in that first quarter. Marian ran for 3, threw for 4, 7 yards of total offense.
So it's 1st and 10 from the Marian 35 as we begin quarter number 2. Chase Gooden on the carry. The first quarter was brought to us by our friends at Generations Adventureplex. Gooden with a 5-yard carry there to take it to the Knight 30. It'll be 2nd and 5 from there. We have not seen Bean Smith on a carry tonight. Smith had a nice 34-yard touchdown last week in the scrimmage against Elkhart. Some movement along the line of scrimmage. Looked like the Knights might have jumped offside based on the motion from Mishawaka. And that will likely result in a Caveman first down, sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In.
St. Andrews Products supplies our crew with the finest monogrammed apparel, and they help your team look great as well. Promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and much more. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com. The answer to your question is always yes.
So 1st and 10 from the Marian 25, with Mishawaka already leading this one 10-0. Brady Fisher at quarterback. And Fisher keeps it himself off the right side, eludes one tackler, puts a move on Priscota, and finally brought down from behind at the 10 after a Bonnie Doon drive-in first down. Kyle Dennison with good pursuit to the football. They'll mark it at the 11, but it's a 14-yard pickup for Brady Fisher. And you get another look from R&B Car Company.
32 yards for Fisher. One thing that Fisher will learn as the season goes along, I hope, is he had an angle toward the sidelines and should have taken it. He would have got about the same yardage, but he wouldn't have got hit. And boy, during the course of the season, you want to avoid those hits.
It's good and up the middle, stacked up after a pickup of about 2 by the Marian defensive line. Lots of bodies in on the stop that time, including Braxton Brooks, a sophomore linebacker. Second and 8 from the 9. Fisher looking over to the sideline to get the play call. And Keith Kinder would like that call to get out there a little bit quicker from what I can gather over on the sideline.
But again, Mishawaka loves this pace. The more time with Marian not touching the football, the better for them.
It's Fisher keeping it himself, and that play seemed like a disaster from the very start. It'll be 3rd down. You get another look from R&B Car Company, and it just seemed like there was a lot of confusion as to where people were trying to go because Fisher went to hand it off and there was nobody there. That tends to be a problem.
It does, and one of the things about Mishawaka's offensive line is their synchronization and blocking is as difficult as the running backs.
Now Marian wants to take a timeout to give that defense a chance to freshen up before a big 3rd and 7. 9:34 to go, first half, and the Knights trying to hang in there, trailing 10-0. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joe County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve the community.
Jamil Packaging and the Dero family are proud supporters of Marian Athletics and wish the team good luck this football season. Special thanks to the Marian teachers and coaches for their care for all the students. Jamil Packaging, here to supply businesses with their corrugated packaging needs. Let's go Knights from the family at Jamil Packaging.
Big 3rd and 7 right here. Marian down 10-0. They get a goal line stand. They're still within a couple of touchdowns. But Mishawaka could really drive a dagger here. Fumble on the snap. Fisher picks it up and makes it down to about the 4-yard line. He's short of the first down by about 2 yards. It'll be 4th and 2 and decision time for Keith Kinder.
I think Keith is going to go for it, Chuck, because they've got a 10-0 lead. And the worst they would do is turn the ball over to Marian with about 95 yards to go. So I think it's time for him to go ahead and get that offense out there that's been doing so well against Marian.
And indeed, he has left his offense out there on the field to go for it on 4th down. Big goal line stand here for the Marian Knights if they can pull it off. That defensive front of Kyle Dennison, Mikey Fuller, Ryan Denard, and Caleb Johnson has been baking in the hot sun, and Keith Kinder will give him a little more time to bake as he calls a timeout. Here is 2nd of the first half.
Tonight's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink, who reminds you that good vision is a key to success on the field and in the classroom. Schedule your child's yearly eye exam at HealthLink today. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more, regardless of your ability to pay. That's HealthLink.
We have a high school football doubleheader for you next week. It'll be opening night of the Michigan season on Thursday night. We'll show the game between Waterville Elite and their fine quarterback Tyson Williams and Brandywine with their new head coach Justin Kinsey Friday afternoon at 4 and Saturday at 11:30. And then our Indiana game next week will be on the banks of the Elkhart River at Rice Field as Northridge visits Elkhart. We'll show that one in the traditional Friday night at 11, Saturday morning at 9. All on your home for high school sports, TV 46.
Christensen Furniture is a local family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen's Furniture has everything you need. We'll wait till after this play to tell you the rest of the story.
Huge 4th and 2 for the Cavemen. Fisher fakes the pitch, comes around the right side. Touchdown, Brady Fisher. He lost the helmet, but found 6 points.
Brady Fisher for the touchdown. There is a flag on the play.
Now we do have a flag on the play, but I'm guessing that's for the face mask that resulted in the helmet coming off. And And it is a Mishawaka touchdown. Personal foul grabbing the face mask on Marian. But the Cavemen are able to make it 16-0. The only problem here, as you watch the R&B Car Company replay, well, with the helmet coming off because of a face mask penalty, Fisher should not have to leave.
No, I don't think he will. Check. 6 minutes and 32 seconds on that drive for Mishawaka. They went, well, after the turnover, they went 72 yards in 12 plays. Got into the end zone on the touchdown by Brady Fisher.
Huge turnover in the game. Back when Lassane was intercepted by Jack Troyer at the goal line, instead of it being 10-7, it's 17-0 if the extra point by Lucas Larson is good. The kick is up, and it indeed is good. And with 8:43 to go in the first half, Mishawaka has jumped out to a 17-0 lead on the fourth-ranked team in Class 3A.
Well, we were telling you about Christensen's Furniture. They're a local family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen's Furniture has everything you need for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, home office, home theater, and much more. Christensen's Furniture, where affordability meets style.
Success for this Mishawaka team not exactly new, as our Visit South Bend Mishawaka factoid tells us. Mishawaka, Penn, and Jimtown are the three area football teams that have not had a losing record in the 21st century. And that's a losing single season.
Wow.
Penn came awfully close last year. They had to win a sectional to avoid that.
Well, every time when you look at those numbers beginning the season, we are so blessed to have the quality of coaching and the players who have set a great example here in Northern Indiana. And how about hats off to those Northridge Raiders making it to a state championship game a year ago. You never know.
We'll see them next week. The personal foul penalty means Mishawaka kicks from the Marian 45, and Lucas Larson not messing around. He'll put it in the end zone for the touchback, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for Marian, who has had the ball for a total of 4 plays in the first 15 minutes and 17 seconds of this football game.
And so far in the ball game, 3 of those plays were passes and 1 was intercepted. So Knights have to draw a line in the sand and just go from here and see what they can get on the board between now and halftime.
We'll see what Brett Badek dials up here, trailing by 17. But it's hard to have an offensive rhythm when you don't have the football.
Well, we saw that a year ago, didn't we? They really zeroed in on Greg Atkinson, kept him from touching the ball in the first half. And by the time they got it going, it was a little bit too late.
Bryce Lassane working from the shotgun. Gives it to Brian Osmond, and Osmond is upended after a pickup of about 1 on the play, as the Caveman defense, with a lot of fresh legs out there, was hunting the football. Isaac Valdez, one of the tacklers on that play. Deuce Owens in the slot. Lucas Granado flexed wide. But Lassane's going to give it to Osmond again, and he's crashed down after a pickup of 2. This time it's Carmine Orozco who comes in. The sophomore makes the stop from the defensive end spot, 6'4", 240.
Awful tough for Brett Vadic, who's calling the plays for Marian. I got to see what I have. I got to see what Osmond can do. Well, 2 carries, 2 yards.
3rd and 6. Lassane sensing some confusion from the Mishawaka defense. Has time to throw. Fires in the flat to Sete, but again, terrific pursuit by the Caveman defense. And Sete is dumped down 3 yards short of the first down. And Michael Davidson, I think right now, considering going for it on 4th down, but instead he'll send the punt unit out there. The second 3 and out in the night for the Mishawaka defense. And the other time they forced a turnover.
Well, that's 3 out of 4 passing for Lassane. Total of 8 yards.
Drew Jank lines up to punt. There is no deep man for Mishawaka. They don't want to take the risk of fumbling the punt. So Jank gets off a high boot that will take a Marian roll and die at the Mishawaka 37-yard line, their best starting field position of the night. And they do that with a 17-0 lead.
Dank is doing a good job kicking the football. That was kind of a mystery going into the season, but we saw him the other night at practice boom a few. Folks, here to protect and serve our community, St. Joseph County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com.
Other scores?
/employment.
Oh, my bad. Don't miss the /employment. That's kind of the key thing there.
That was.
We'll give you some other scores after this first down play for the Cavemen as they go to Chase Gooden again. And Gooden is bulldog down after a pickup of 3 on the play. LaVille leads Bremen 21-0 after 1. Rochester and Southwood tied at 7. That's in the second. Warsaw has jumped out to a 6-0 lead on Michigan City. That's in the first quarter. Fairfield and Goshen are scoreless going to the second in the Maple City. Elkhart has a 12-0 lead on Concord. That's at the end of 1 over at Jake Field. 2nd and 7. Hardy in motion, but the pitch out comes. And look at Mishawaka go. Down the sidelines, and it's all the way for a Caveman touchdown. That is Ethan Bryce. And Bryce rockets 60 yards for the score, and it's 23-0 Mishawaka. They had tested the inside constantly. Bryce found a hole on the outside, and once he was even, he was leaving.
And then he was gone. Wow. New country heard from.
So Ethan Bryce, who wasn't on the too deep a week ago on offense, certainly has found a spot there now. Lucas Larson's extra point is up and good, and Mishawaka has opened the margin to 24-0. 6 minutes to go in the first half, and the season getting off to a great start for the maroon and whites. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for over 30 years.
Folks, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are their most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because ReshCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about signing with the ReshCore family, and a $1,000 signing bonus, visit reshcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Lucas Larson spinning kick towards the sideline, taken by Michael Prisgoda as 18. Prisgoda bowls over a tackler and gets his way up to the 36-yard line. So good field position for Marian, but that has not been the problem. They just have not been able to get a first down yet in this game through the first 18 minutes. Some other scores, Tippecanoe Valley leading Wawasee. That's 8-0 in the second. Jimtown and Northwood are tied at 7 late in the first quarter. Here it's 24-0 Mishawaka. And the Marian Knights sending Bryce Lesane back out onto the field, this time with Leopino Sete as his tailback. Jumping along the line, and that will cost somebody 5 yards. The question is who? It'll be against the Cavemen, a 5-yard violation, their first penalty of the night. For an opening game, it's been pretty clean in terms of the penalties.
It really has, and Chuck, a year ago, we saw them stop play a number of times to give the kids a chance to get a drink of water. It's really turned into a beautiful evening here.
Meanwhile, it's Leopino Sete up the middle for a couple of yards, and that'll set up a 2nd and 3. The Ben Downey era off to a good start in version number 2 over at Lakeland as St. Joe leads Lakeland 22-0 in the second quarter. Also tonight, we see that Northridge leads Adams 14-6. That game in the second. We'll see the Raiders next week over at Elkhart. And just put the curse on the penalty situation here as we have a personal foul called against Mishawaka. And that will result in Marion's first down of the night, brought to us by CB Custom Painting. And that'll put it down to the 43-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, and if Keith Kinder is going to go into halftime with nothing to complain about, he's got a little bit of something to say.
Lassane will hand it off, and Brian Osmond bounces off tacklers, and the speedy tailback picks up about 3 on the play. Osmond, only a sophomore, 5'4", 149 pounds, but he squats 270. And we've got an injured player down on the field, and I believe that could be Lucas Granato.
Well, Marian has had a series of injuries already this preseason and don't need to have any more, but we'll hope for the best for Mr. Granato.
Back of his leg rolled up on the trainer, Ann Masinski, out there on the field. And they may have to tend to him for a little while. So we will take a break with 5:19 to go in the first half. Mishawaka leading Marian 24-0. You're watching high school football on TV 46. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, Bo Hunt back with you at Tulski Field. That is Lucas Granato, who had his leg rolled up on from behind. The trainers will be checking him out. We'll check in with Bo Hunt in a little bit to see if he can give us an update. In the meantime, 2nd and 7 for Marian at the Mishawaka 40. And it's Osmond again, and he took a whacking from Balin Eby that time and goes down just a yard past the line of scrimmage. Eby, 5'10" senior, a good wrestler, and he had an easy 2 points for the takedown there.
That's 6 yards for Osmond. He's a leading rusher for Marian here in his first half.
Which kind of explains part of the problem for the Knights. 3rd and 6 from the 39. Lassane wants to throw. He has time. Now running out of it. Fires, and he's got his man, but short of the first down marker. So it was Brian Boltink who made the reception, but he made it at the 36. They've got to be able to get to the 33-yard line. So Marian looking at 4th and 3 and down by 24. They'll go for it here. Lassane looks to the sideline to get the play from his offensive coordinator, Brett Badak. Play clock down to 10. It's Sete up the middle. Sete got the first down. It's sponsored by CB Custom Painting as Leopino Sete runs it up to the 31-yard line for a Marian first down. Sete, the top returning ground gainer from a year ago, had 138 yards on the season. He comes from a big family, and he ran that time like he was trying to get the last roll at the dinner table.
Or he's trying to get away from his older brother.
That would put the fear of God into you. 1st and 10 from the 31. It's Brian Osmond, and he gets leveled in the backfield. Dawson Nowacki got him around the ankles, and then Jackson Snyder finished him off. Nowacki will meet coming up at halftime one of our Health Markets Tony Letcher Student Athletes of the Week. 4-year starter for this Mishawaka team. When I came out to see Keith Kinder before the season, he said, "Who do you want to talk to?" I said, "Well, Nowacki would be good." He goes, "Yeah, he's only our best player."
Senior class president. He's only involved in just about everything at the highest level. He's a great kid.
And he can bench 405, so you're darn sure I'm going to be nice to him. 2nd and 11. Lassane wants to throw, gets rid of it. It's caught by Prisgota, who gets leveled. He did a great job hanging on to the football up to the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5, but get a look at this one on R&B Car Company replay. From ground level, hello.
Yikes.
Trey Thomas coming over to lay the lumber to Michael Prisgota. Marian looking at a 3rd and 3 from the Mishawaka 24. Trailing 24-0, just trying to get something on the board here before halftime. They will get the second half kickoff. Osman couldn't dodge tacklers as there were all kinds of white jerseys coming in. Carmine Orozco having himself a very fine game at defensive end, makes the stop there.
Weaver Consultant Group in Granger is proud to sponsor Marian football. Weaver Consultant Group, client focused, quality driven. Learn more at WCGRP.com. That's WCGRP.com.
Marian looking at its second 4th and 3 of this possession. They're at the Mishawaka 24. Last time they went with Sete running up the middle in this situation. Lassane wants to throw here. He's got Sete open and his throw is dropped. He had Jack D-Roll open and D-Roll couldn't hang on to it. So Mishawaka takes over on downs. 1st and 10 at its own 24, leading 24-0 with 1:10 left to go first half.
Well, that's 5 out of 7 in the first half passing with an interception, a total of 16 yards.
They just have not been able to get anything open deep against this Mishawaka defense. And to be honest, that was one of Mishawaka's biggest concerns entering this game, was would their safeties be able to get deep enough to stop the Marian receivers?
And they're not able to stop that Mishawaka defensive front. They're putting pressure on the quarterback. You know, it takes 4 or 5 seconds to get somebody open deep and to get the ball down there. So it's really been a tough night so far for the Knights. Again, looking for little successes along the way. It's a long season ahead.
Let's see how much of a gambler Keith Kinder is here on 1st and 10 from his own 24. He's going to take a timeout here because his offense was late getting out onto the field.
Hey, we'd like to thank Barnaby's of Mishawaka again for providing dinner for our production crew tonight. They're proud to sponsor high school athletics and want to wish both teams good luck in the upcoming season. That's Barnaby's of Mishawaka.
The college football season is just 13 days away, and as sun sets in Michiana, we tell you that we'll have an opening weekend of football on Pulse FM. Penn State and Purdue Thursday night, September 1st at 8 p.m. That's on 92.1 and 96.9. The next night, Tom Allen's Indiana Hoosiers get a visit from Illinois. That's Friday, September 2nd at 8 p.m. Your home for Big Ten football in Michiana is Pulse FM. Keith Kinder watching things from over on the Mishawaka sideline. The 41-year-old was an offensive coordinator at Mishawaka for 5 years before becoming the head coach. Prior to that, earlier in his life, Keith Kinder was a ink-stained wretch. He was a sports writer for the Elkhart Truth. Here's Fisher giving it to Trey Thomas on a little reverse. Thomas getting to the outside. Brian Boltink will shove him out of bounds at about the 34, and then a flag comes in late. That's good for a first down on the play, but we'll see if that holds up after the penalty. And it looks like it's against Mishawaka. At least that's what Kyle Dennison is signaling to the Marian bench. It's a block in the back against the Cavemen.
He races a pretty good running play right there. Mishawaka showing some diversity here.
So it's a spot infraction. So it'll basically take it back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 1st and 10.
Okay, so it's a gain of 10. Spot foul, moves the ball back 10 yards. And replay down, 1st and 9 for the Cavemen.
They'll technically call it 1st and 9 from the 25. And Mishawaka firing off the ball with Chase Gooden, and Gooden taken down at the about a 2-yard pickup. Kyle Dennison leading the charge. Dennison was injured last year. All kinds of injury problems throughout his Marian career, and there's nobody more eager to be on the field this year than 55 in blue.
Worked really hard in the offseason to be ready. You know, Chuck, one of the things about the running of Chase Gooden tonight and really in his career, over 1,000 yards a year ago, he's one of those backs, reminds me of an NFL back who gets better as the game goes along. He's gotten a few hits. He's made some moves. He knows what they're trying to do, and he's working, doing a great job.
2nd and 6. This will likely be the final play of the first half. Chase Gooden bowls over a tackler for a pickup of 3. And the two teams will head to the locker rooms at halftime with Mishawaka in control of this one, leading their Princess City rival 24-0. A top 10 showdown between the 8th-ranked team in 5A, the 4th-ranked in 3A, and it has been all Cavemen here in the first half. We're hoping to be able to get a Bills Heating sideline report as the coaches go to the locker room. Bo Hunt is making a beeline over to the other side of the field to hopefully have a chance to chat with Keith Kinder as the Cavemen head off to the locker room. I don't even think they're going to go to the locker room. I think he's going to send them off to a grassy knoll behind the stands. But Keith knows how the game is done. This isn't his first rodeo, so let's go downstairs. Bo Hunt's got the head coach of the Cavemen.
Keith, you guys go in the locker room up 24-0. Looked like all facets of the game were really working out there, especially your offense.
We should fire the special teams coordinator. It just happens to be me. We're just not covering kicks very well. Should have, that was a big momentum play. Fortunately to get up, got a pick back. But yeah, we played pretty well.
What do you need to do different the second half?
Well, I think they're giving us fits on their defensive front. They're kind of jumping in a different look every time. They're jumping to different gaps. So we're going to try to go unbalanced, down block them, and see if 44 can get some carries in C gap.
Thanks, Keith.
Yeah, thank you.
Just a miserable, miserable man. Can't even get his special teams to work. That was about the only thing that went poorly for the Cavemen in the first half. They lead at 24-0 at the intermission. Stick around. The St. Joe County Police halftime report is next with our Health Markets Tony Letcher Student Athletes of the Week on 46.
And welcome back to Bob Witowski Field here at Marian High School, where we get a chance to honor our Student Athletes of the Week. And that is a new feature for our main sponsor here. That's Tony Letcher and Health Markets. So we want to introduce our award winners. Aiden Kelly is here from Marian High School, and Dawson Nowacki's here from Mishawaka. And Dawson, we'll talk to you first. You're the visitor, but you're familiar with this Marian Knights team in this area, and I think you got a lot of feelings going into this one.
Absolutely. Even though I didn't play against them freshman year, I dressed, and in subsequent games, they've always been our first opponent. So it's a team we focus most on throughout the summer, and this their home team rival, so or a hometown rival. So it's always good to play against them.
You're playing football at the level you're playing. You're busy all year. You're in the weight room. You're in training, that kind of thing. How are you handling the discipline of what it takes to get that done?
I'd say really well, because I know my teammates. We're all going through it. Ever since our season ended, unfortunately, last fall, we've been in the weight room throughout the winter and the spring, back out on the field in the summer, and at team camps, and we've been at it nonstop.
What are your plans for the future? I know you want to play at the next level.
Really just attend college, in the field of STEM, like something engineering or manufacturing related, but those are my goals.
Good for you. Give a shout out to people that helped you along the way. I know you got a great team behind you.
My mother, father, brother, sister, and all my close friends helped me get this far.
Boy, you mentioned everybody that could give you a Christmas present. I'm proud of you. Congratulations and good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that is Dawson Witowski from Mishawaka, and with us now is a young man from Marian High School who I think has red hair. And so when they told me his name was Kelly, I said, yeah, you gotta believe that. Aiden Kelly is with us, and Aiden, congratulations on being recognized.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're really getting it done in the classroom and doing some other things at Marian, but your focus has to be sharp, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's all about time management. So life is a big balance. You got to focus on athletics sometimes, but also school has a big priority as well. So
I know you guys are in the weight room as well. Talk about what it takes when you think about young kids watching you guys, and you were a young kid not that long ago. What do you gain from watching the older players and how they handle themselves?
It's a big deal. So they are my biggest role models because I've talked with them. I have a very personal connection with them, but they're also much better than me. So it's really nice to have someone that is on a high level of skill that you can look up to, but also talk to as a friend.
Well, that's great. Talk about the people in your life that have mattered.
I'd like to give some shout outs to my parents who have supported me for my entire life. Head coach who puts lots of hours into the football program on and off the fields. He's a really big deal to me.
Tell you what, we're proud of you. Congratulations on all your accomplishments.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Aiden Kelly from Marian High School and Dustin Watucky from Mishawaka High School, our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Tony Letcher with Health Markets. We've got a break coming up, and then we'll get back to our pregame show and our halftime show with all the highlights and stats. Stay with us.
In this edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Martin Supermarkets. Count on us for all your grocery needs and so much more. Welcome into the Martin Supermarkets broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nago high above the fray. We're in here somewhere. It's 24-0 Mishawaka, and then maybe Marian feels like they're about as foggy as our windows.
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot we can do about that. And there wasn't a whole lot that Marian could do about Mishawaka tonight. 303 yards total offense in the first half. And when you get behind, you know, we talked about in the pregame show, you can't get behind Mishawaka because then you have to pass, and it hasn't been real effective. But Mishawaka came out really ready to play.
Oh, did they ever? First play from scrimmage as we look at the highlights. Chase Gooden looked like he was going on a 69-yard touchdown run, but he fell down. There was a goal line stand. Lucas Larson kicked a 23-yard field goal, 3-0 Cavemen. After that, it's Brady Fisher up top to Trey Thomas. That set up a Gooden touchdown from 2 yards out, 10-0. But on the ensuing kickoff, there's life for the Marian Knights. Leah Pino-Sete brings it all the way back to the Mishawaka 26-yard line. But the guy that knocks him out of bounds is the guy that makes the interception on the next play. Jack Troyer gets the pilfer at the goal line. He'd bring it back to the 28. 72-yard march has Fisher take it in. He'd lose his helmet on this play, but he found 6 points. It's 17-0. Chase Gooden, big numbers in the first half, well over 100 yards. And Ethan Bryce had good numbers too. 1 carry, 60 yards. It happened on this touchdown. Mishawaka up 24-0, and the numbers tell the story. They're not deceiving.
No, Marian really struggled offensively. As I said, the first quarter they had 4 total plays with an interception in that time. They only had 8 minutes of possession of the football. Mishawaka was 16. Marian with a turnover. First downs, huge in favor of Mishawaka with 9. And it just shows that Mishawaka a good start and a solid first half. Now Marian's got to, as we said, they've got to find a way to have some success and something they can carry on to game 2 of the season.
So that will do it for our St. Joe County Police halftime report. Chuck and Bob, we're in here somewhere. Yes, we are. 24-0 at the break. For those of you watching online, stick around. I'll give you some scoreboard updates around the area. And second half play-by-play comes your way next from Metelsky Field after this on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by HealthLink, your community health center. While Keith Kinder stands and watches his team on the other side, Bo Hunt had a chance to chat with Marian coach Michael Davidson during the intermission, and I imagine he wasn't exactly overjoyed, Bo.
No, but he did have quite a bit to say. And offensively, he said, you know, offensive line just needs to protect a little bit better, and we need to work the ball down the field a little bit more. We're settling for underneath routes. And defensively, he said our eyes are just getting caught up in the backfield too much. They need to read their keys and go with those, because anytime you over pursue with an offense like Mishawaka has, that's when they're going to have their big hitters, guys.
But, Bo, correct me if I'm wrong. Playing a team like Mishawaka in the opener is almost antithetical to anything else you see during the season. There's very few teams who run this kind of offense anymore.
Yeah, it does help you prepare for the season, though, because you have to be so disciplined. And when you have that the first game of the season, it really, it helps you if you learn from it. We talked about that at the beginning of the game, adversity, and how you're going to deal with some failures. Well, this is one right here. How are you going to come out here in the second half, and how are you going to deal with a 24-point deficit?
By the way, we want to thank the folks at Christensen Furniture. They sponsored our second quarter tonight. It is a 24-0 Mishawaka lead. The good news here for Marian, they'll receive the second half kickoff. And the good news for the folks in the stands, sun's just about down, and it's a beautiful night for football here in Michiana.
It really is. And boy, we're starting to get some scores. And how about those LaVille Lancers returning everybody and playing like it tonight? St. Joe's having more success tonight than they've had, maybe in the last couple of years. But A lot of good football in the area. Fans try to make some plans to get out there, support the players, but more importantly, the schools, the cheerleaders, the bands, everybody putting out their best effort. We're ready to go with second half action. Here to call it the Hall of Famer, Chuck Furby.
And the kick by Lucas Larson spins down to Leo Pino Sete at the 7. Sete works his way up the field and takes a pretty good whack at the 25-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Marian from there. Bryce Lassane was fairly accurate in the first half, except for one critical pass that somewhat stemmed any chance that Marian had of getting momentum.
He really did, and that's what Coach Davis was talking about. We need to go downfield a little bit more, but the only time they've tried it tonight, it was a pick.
So 24-0. The Knights trail, and let's see what Brett Badek tries to do with this young and inexperienced offense that has its hands full with this Mishawaka defensive line tonight. Big Jack Brennan at center, the 6'1", 323-pound senior, gets ready to snap it to Lassane. And Lassane gives it to Brian Osmond, and Osmond is taken down by Balin Eby 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It did not help that Osmond was late getting out onto the field.
No, it did not.
And Michael Prisgotta will replace him immediately.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore. He's, you know, can't question the effort, but boy, you just got to be ready to play every down in this game. We talked about that on our preview, Chuck, about got to be ready to play for 48 minutes of intense football if you're going to win this one.
They'll make it a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12. A low snap, but Lassane handles it, throws, and it went off the hands of Jack D-Roll, his intended receiver. Aiden Hooten with the big lick on D-Roll that time. It'll be 3rd and 12.
5 out of 8 now on the night for Lassane. Nice underneath route that time. Boy, if you can hit one of those and somebody misses a tackle, you can get some big yardage. And now Marian faced with 3rd down and 13 deep in their own territory.
Been a couple of drops by Marian receivers tonight, too, that have not helped the cause. 3rd and long. Lassane looking to throw a screen pass, perhaps. Rolls out, fires, and it's incomplete. And now the question is, was he outside the tackle box? The officials will give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and there was a question whether or not it went past the line of scrimmage, too, but I think they're going to say everything's good, so it just goes as an incomplete pass for Bryce Lassane.
But another 3 and out for the Mishawaka defense, which was a giant question mark for this team coming into the year. Matt Lewinsky, the defensive coordinator, lost a lot of talent off that squad last year that only gave up 15 points a game, but they have been lights out so far tonight. And Drew Jank will do the kicking. And again, Mishawaka not worried about putting anybody deep. So Jank gets one out of there, and it'll take another Marian roll inside the 35, and that's where Mishawaka will take over. So Jank has not been the problem. 43-yard kick right there.
No returner, and I like that decision there by Keith Kinder. The only things that can happen there, I mean, it's not like you need a big return or any kind of a great play. You just need not to turn it over.
And so far, Mishawaka has been clean on that. They had a couple of fumbles in the first quarter, but they managed to recover them. So Brady Fisher will lead his offense out on the field. Fisher, despite growing 3 inches in the offseason, I think has really done a good job on improving his footwork in the backfield. Here he'll hand it off to Chase Gooden, and Gooden still on his feet, gets another first down, sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In. As Gooden rolls for 13 yards on the first down carry, he'll get another look from R&B Car Company replay, and Gooden a little bit hobbled as he gets up from this run.
Might be getting tired.
So Gooden will limp off. Keith Kinder will get him over to the sidelines. Novell Miller will come in for Gooden. How many yards for Gooden tonight?
135 yards. And on a night when it's been a little bit warm. But boy, I'll tell you what, that offensive line, the way they shoot out, He's had a lot of success.
And the way that trainer's working on him, that's a cramp over on the far sideline. Fisher keeps it himself, and Brady takes a tumble at the midfield stripe after a pickup of 4. Fisher has a link to another quarterback in the area. Back in middle school, Brady worked on a Indiana History Day project with Torrin Day when they were both students at John Young Middle School. And of course, Day, the fine quarterback of the Adams Eagles.
This young man has had some experiences. I'll tell you what, none more important than the home he lives in with 2 older brothers who are really good athletes. What a wonderful family, the Fishers.
Thank goodness they're like their mother. Here's the handoff to Novell Miller, and Miller gets stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Novell got some carries last week in the scrimmage against Elkhart, and Keith Kinder liked what he saw from the big sophomore. 5'10", 200-pounder. He looks the part. It'll be 3rd and 6. Nine minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Mishawaka right at the midfield stripe, up 24-0. Fisher puts a man in motion, gives it off to Miller, and the big fullback explodes up to the 35-yard line. First down sponsored by Bonnie Doon. Drive in. He more than looked the part right there. He was the part. Take a look at this. Bounced off a couple of tacklers and broke right on through, Bob.
Big, strong young man, good center of balance, and you know, you're running out of that flex bone that Mishawaka has, and you know you're going to be successful. You know those guys up front are going to provide you with an opportunity. First carry, didn't get anything. This time 15.
Yards after contact, though, had to be about 12. 1st and 10 from the 35. It's Miller again. He's got some momentum now, and he'll pick up 7 here. All of a sudden, Chase Gooden says, "My leg's fine, Coach."
Yeah, it's they don't want to be Wally Pipp, right?
No. 2nd and 3. Can't say enough about that offensive line for Mishawaka. Nowacki, Parmley, Ginter, Willis, and Chalberg just moving people off the line of scrimmage tonight. Although you give them a compliment, and then one of them gets a 5-yard illegal procedure penalty.
Set him back. That's penalty number 4 for 30 yards from Mishawaka tonight. Coach Sheriff Goslin Roofing is the oldest roofing company in the area with over a century of experience under their roof. They provide great service, a large selection of roofing styles, and the best guarantees and warranties in the business. Call for a free roof inspection or an estimate with Sheriff Goslin Roofing.
They're listening in Sarasota, Florida tonight on the live stream. Glad to have everybody with us no matter where you are. Fisher putting a man in motion. There's Novell Miller again. He got back almost 4 of the 5 yards they lost on the penalty, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
Boy, this young man is impressive. 26 yards in his first 4 carries, and the first one was for nil.
But again, it helps when you've got a veteran offensive line in front of you, and the cohesion and communication in that group is evident here tonight. 3rd and 4, it's Bean Smith in motion. Again, it's Novell Miller, and he crashes forward. Did he get the first down? Looks like he's about a half yard short, and there's no doubt in your mind that Keith Kinder will go for it right here.
Miller's looking over the bench and doing pretty good, right, Coach? He's to get the first down.
4th and about a half a yard to go here. As you look at Michael Davidson on that Marian sideline, hoping his defense, which has to be exhausted, can come up with a big stop here. Mikey Fuller and Kyle Dennison right there in the middle, hoping to stop this one. And it's Miller off the left side, and he got the first down up to the 24-yard line. Only got 2 yards, but that's more than he needed. It's a Bonnie Doon drive-in first down, and the Caveman march continues.
32 yards for Miller on this drive. This will be the 10th play of the drive for Mishawaka.
Looks like Dawson Nowacki's going to come out for a minute. Chris Gronkowski in the game now on offensive line, as is Reese Sellers. So Mishawaka trying to keep some fresh linemen out there and get them some experience of this one.
Yep. Get your leader on the sidelines, get him a bucket of water, and he'll be back out there.
Play clock all the way down to 2. They just did get it off. Fisher keeps it himself. Brady Fisher to the end zone. Touchdown, Mishawaka. A 24-yard jaunt to pay dirt. Fisher's second score of the night, and it's 30-0 Cavemen. You get another look at this one from R&B Car Company. Terrific surge. Miller, instead of carrying the ball, left a big block there, and Miller was untouched.
63 yards in the ball game for Fisher.
Yeah, it was Fisher who was untouched. Miller did a lot of touching with the block there. Here's Larson. Kick is up, and it is good. 5:18 to go in the third quarter, and this one has been all Cavemen tonight. It's been a clubbing. 31-0 Mishawaka here in the third on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nickel, and Bo Hunt back with you at Atulski Field. 31-0 Mishawaka.
And Mishawaka goes 68 yards, 12 plays. They use up just about 5 minutes off the clock. And very methodical. Reminds you of some of those old Penn teams that would get the lead and then just grind the clock.
Lucas Larson will do the kicking. Leopino Sete, the deep man, but this one won't get deep. It's Michael Prisgoda from his 20. Prisgoda running east-west. Well, actually on this field he's running north-south, but that's another story. Didn't cover a lot of ground forward, and he gets out to about the 23-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Marian from there. The Knights with only 2 first downs tonight against this Mishawaka D.
Marian students learn with humility, serve with compassion, and lead with integrity in the classroom, on the athletic fields, and in the community. This legacy began over 55 years ago. Learn more about how you can become part of this tradition and become a Knight by visiting our website at marianhs.org. Go Knights.
Bryce Lassane leads the Marian offense out for a 1st and 10 from the 23. And Lassane looks to throw, has Jack D-roll, and it's dropped again. D-roll couldn't hang on, but there was pursuit coming from Isaac Valdez. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
5 out of 10 now for Lassane passing for 16 yards.
Penn up on Valparaiso, 14-0 in the first quarter. Warsaw pounding Michigan City, 28-0.
Wait a minute, they're ranked 3rd.
Not anymore. Here's Sete trying to get around the corner, and look at all the white jerseys surrounding him. You'll get another look at R&B Car Company. One of the things Keith Kinder talked about, one of the things his team did well at the scrimmage last week, pursue the football. And there's Balin Evie, the defensive end, coming to the outside and leading just a cadre of white jerseys that time.
Going to get there in a hurry, don't they?
3rd and 9. This may be one of the quicker Mishawaka teams that I can remember. Lassane wants to throw with time, finds his man over the middle, and that's Michael Prisgoda for the 1st down up to the 37-yard line. 1st down sponsored by CB Custom Painting. Here's another look, and this is probably the most time to throw that Lassane has had tonight. And he threw a bullet to Prisgoda.
First passing 1st down of the game for Marian.
Now a Run here by Brian Osmond will take it up to about the 42-yard line. Pickup of about 5 on the play for Osmond, one of his best runs of the night. Little hurry-up offense here. They'll actually mark it at the 40, so that's only a pickup of 3. Lassane again with time. Here's Leopino Sete out of the backfield. This was one of the things you talked about in the open, Bob. And Sete goes for the first down for a pickup of 9, sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
A little bit more time. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
New Prairie has taken a 7-0 lead on LaPorte in the first quarter. LaVille now up 42-0 on Bremen. 1st and 10 from the Marian 49. Lassane will keep it himself, bursts through the hole, lowers the shoulder, and he's got the first down, or very close to it. They'll spot it short of the 41-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 1.
I think it's only his 2nd carry since the first play of the game, Chuck, and he's a good athlete.
Well, that was something that he said he had worked on in the offseason, was implementing the running game. He had negative yardage for the season last year on the ground. Of course, in high school football, your rushing yardage includes sacks that are taken. But he's a very good athlete, baseball player, good third baseman. And Lassane now in trouble, and down he goes. Jackson Snyder comes in and gets the first sack of the night for Mishawaka. Snyder, a 6-foot sophomore who's also a sharpshooter on the basketball team. And he found the target there in the backfield. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Yeah, tough situation there. And all Mishawaka got to do is pick somebody and send them. They haven't blitzed much tonight, but that time he had a pretty good track.
So another 3rd and long for Marian. Lassane will hand it off to Osmond, who tries to dart his way through traffic but could only pick up about 2 yards. He stopped at the 47-yard line. It's 4th and 6 for Marian, and it appears the Knights will go for it here in Caveman territory.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school athletics. Teamwork is our specialty, working with industry giants like SpaceX and Boeing. For over 60 years, excellence has been our standard, and that won't change. Like the teams in this game, we're always working toward a great finish.
Lassane from the gun on 4th and 5. Here comes a delayed blitz picked up by Sete, and the throw by Lassane is incomplete. Malik Washington had the coverage over on the sideline. Michael Prisgoda couldn't come up with it, and Mishawaka gets the stop and will take over at their own 46 with 1:38 here to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Marian was able to put together a 9-play drive, used up about 4 minutes of what was left in the 3rd quarter, and nothing to show for it, but some additional success from what they had early. CB Custom Painting is a proud sponsor of Marian football. I'd like to wish the team good luck all season. Special shout out to, or from former Marian teammate, Maddox Bagunia. They say go Knights.
Penn now up on Valparaiso 21-0. That's in the 2nd quarter. Jacob Bayless with a long touchdown run. Tippecanoe Valley leads Wawasee 23-0 in the 3rd. Steve Moriarty with another good team down in Mentone. 1st and 10 from the 46. It's Novell Miller on the carry, and the backup fullback picks up about 3 on the play before he's brought down by Eric Logan, the sophomore defensive tackle. And another Marian injury as Braxton Brooks hobbles off the field.
Next man in for the Marian Knights, and they've had to do a lot of that already. Their sideline representatives with knee braces and crutches is pretty impressive to start the season. They've got a lot of kids that are nursing their way back.
Yeah, the Khaki Pant Club is in full-fledged tonight. Preston Manzuk just checked into the game for the Knights. 2nd and 6. Novell Miller up the middle, just bowls his way for about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 3. He went right up the back of one of his Mishawaka offensive linemen. That time Looked like it was Eddie Rodriguez.
And checking in with Chase Gooden, having gone off the field just with a question about an injury. You're up in this ball game 31-0. There's absolutely no reason to put him back on the field tonight.
Yeah, you won't see him again tonight. He's got the helmet off over on the far sideline. Instead, Miller will get quite a few carries, including a first down here for a Bonnie Doon drive-in first down. As he crosses to the 43-yard line, and the clock will run and expire here on the third quarter from Atulski Field. The Mishawaka Cavemen coming across 2.7 miles to get here to Marian High School, and they may be able to go home in a cloud floating on it because they lead at 31-0 after 3 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week brought to you by the Electrical Workers in Local 153, making our communities brighter since 1914. Time now for a Bills Heating Sideline Report. We go downstairs to Bo Hunt. I know it's like asking you your favorite buffet item, but what do you like best about Mishawaka tonight?
I think the biggest thing is the way their defense played tonight. We kind of knew that their offense was going to be pretty good. They were going to be able to put up some numbers. There's going to be some questions about that defense and what they're able to do to this Marian team. I mean, you got Bryce Lassane, a 2-year starter, coming back, led the team or most passing yards in a season at Marian last year, and to hold them to 0 points through 3 quarters, I think that's the biggest thing that's really surprised me or stood out tonight, guys.
All right, thank you, Bo. We start the fourth quarter with the Cavemen up 31-0, handing the ball to Novell Miller, and he's only going to get a yard on the play before a swarm of blue jerseys bring him down.
It's his 10th carry of the ball game already.
Harrison Givens came over to make the stop. Our friends at Visit South Bend, Mishawaka is sponsoring our factoids tonight. And certainly the kind of offensive start we're seeing from Mishawaka this evening, well, we've kind of seen it in the last 2 or 3 years. We'll show it to you after this play. There you see it. Mishawaka has scored 42, 43, and 43 in the last 3 years on opening night, and they could be putting 37 on the board here. Bean Smith with the touchdown. A 42-yard jaunt to pay dirt as he takes it on the pitch around the right side. This was the kind of play he scored on in the scrimmage last week at Elkhart. And the young man that's nicknamed Bean because when he was a baby, he resembled Butterbean, the boxer. Well, he has slimmed down and gotten a lot faster for a 42-yard jaunt there. And Lucas Larson will try the extra point, and we will be in a running clock situation here at Atulski Field.
By the way, Lucas has done a good job tonight. It's been a nice surprise for Mishawaka.
Actually, that's a new kicker that they put in there that time. Hardy makes the extra point, so Mishawaka's Chase Hardy comes back to make the extra point. It's 38-0 Mishawaka. The clock is running here at Atulski Field. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life.
Christensen's Furniture is a local family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen's Furniture has everything you need for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, home office, home theaters, and more. Christensen's Furniture, where affordability meets style.
I think the clock technically is not supposed to be going during the kickoff, but
and they reset it.
It's going.
It was going during that break.
Yeah. And Michael Prisgoda will take it from his 16 and run it all the way back to his own 40-yard line. So great effort shown there by Prisgoda. But Marian will see if they can get something on the board here in the final 9:49.
Jamil Packaging and the Dero family are proud sponsors of Marian Athletics and want to wish the team good luck this football season. Special thanks to the Marian teachers and coaches for their care for all students. Jamil Packaging here to supply businesses with their corrugated packaging needs. Let's Go Knights from the Diro family and Jamil Packaging.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Marian just trying to get something on the board here and avoid a goose egg. Bryce Lassane throws in the flat. It is caught, and for a loss of 5 out there. Making the grab was Braxton Brooks. Good to see him back in the game after he hobbled off a moment ago, but a loss of 5 will make it 2nd and 15.
Weaver Consultants Group in Granger is proud to sponsor Marian football. Weaver Consultants Group, client-focused, quality-driven. Learn more at WCGRP.com. That's WCGRP.com.
2nd and 15 now. Lassane still working from the gun. Starters still out there for Marian. And it'll be Brian Osmond on the carry. He plows forward for about 3. And that'll leave Marian looking at a 3rd and 12.
Folks, the original Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way has all your favorites. Stop by this weekend for a delicious Bonnie burger, fries, and a root beer float. For over 48 years, Bonnie Doon has been part of the community. Great food and rich, creamy ice cream make Bonnie Doon a favorite destination for a cool treat. Grab a taste of nostalgia at the Bonnie Doon Drive-In. Check their Facebook page for daily specials.
Carmine Orozco had that last tackle. He has had a terrific game at defensive end tonight for Mishawaka. Only a sophomore. Lassane scrambles. Now he's going to try to run for the first down, and he's about 4 yards short of it. It'll be 4th and 4 from the 46, and at this point, there's nothing to lose for Marian. He might as well go for it.
For over 30 years, St. Andrews Products has set the standard for apparel, business gifts, and promotional items. We support great charities like Folds of Honor and the American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan. We can help your cause. Contact us at sales@standrewscorp.com. At St. Andrews, your expectations become our standards.
So 4th and 4 for Marian here. 7:07 and counting left in the game. 38-0 Mishawaka. Handoff to Osmond. He slips and will be short of the first down, and Mishawaka will take over on downs in Marian territory at the 48.
Folks, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are their most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Reshcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Reshcore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit Reshcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Quick reminder, a doubleheader next week on TV 46. The Michigan game has Watervliet and Brandywine. They will play on Thursday night. We'll show it Friday afternoon at 4 and Saturday morning at 11:30. The Indiana game will put us at Rice Field, where Robinson, St. Louis, and the Elkhart Lions get a visit from last year's 4A runner-up Northridge. We'll have that one Friday night, 11, Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46. Brand new cast of characters on the Mishawaka offense. Caden Smith has come in to play quarterback. And we have a whistle, and the clock will stop here for a second because the two teams are going the wrong directions.
Whoa, welcome to opening night.
Yeah, it's opening night for the officials, too.
That's one of those I haven't seen before.
Caden Smith in the game at quarterback will hand it off. And it looks like it could be Novell Miller on the carry. We'll wait and see as they unpile. No, it was John Cohen on the carry, a 5'11", 195-pound junior.
Chuck, one thing we should say, we got a lot of things to talk about, obviously, but the play tonight, Brady Fisher was impressive for so many reasons. He ran, he threw, but he also carried out a fake on every play and then brought more yardage down the field for his running backs.
Another handoff to Cohen, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage here, so it'll be 3rd and 7.
I think we also might have set a record tonight for people listening and watching around the country. Thank you. Appreciate it very much, the support.
So 3rd down and 4. Caden Smith, the son of the late Mishawaka defensive coordinator Greg Smith. He is the reason so many of the Mishawaka coaches have tattoos that say LOD for Lights Out Defense, and they have played that here tonight. It's Caden on the carry, and Smith has a first down sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In as he takes it up to the 37-yard line.
Chuck, we wanted to take a minute to give our best wishes to Mike Faulkner and his family. Mike's been just a tremendous part of the city of Mishawaka as an athlete, wrestled overseas for championship in Roman-style wrestling, and just been a great representative, and on the staff at Mishawaka High School in the athletic department. Michael, we're pulling for you, buddy, and we're wishing you and your family all the best.
Been tremendous with the facilities there at Mishawaka. Cohen in the backfield behind Smith. And it's Cohen on the carry, and he drags some tacklers all the way up to the 30-yard line, pickup of 7 on the play. As Mishawaka continues to grind it out, and it looks like just about anybody who dressed tonight is going to get to play for the Cavemen.
Keith Kinder had a game plan. Guys had their jaws set, and partner, you brought it up in the pregame. They didn't win anything last year, and they had a terrific team. They played well in some really big games, but they didn't win anything. And at Mishawaka, well, they got a lot of pride.
Mishawaka will go for the Catholic sweep next week. They play St. Joe. Marian will head on down to Culver Academy and play at their beautiful new stadium. Cohen with the carry. It looks like he may have picked up another first down. He did. It's sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In with 2:40 to go.
I'm looking at some of the body language on the Marian sideline. I'm not seeing anything negative. They're all in. They're all paying attention, and it'll be a tough week of work next week. But as Michael Davidson said, you know, we're trying to keep ourselves together and make progress as the season goes along. This is, by the way, a 3A team from Marian playing a ranked 5A team in Mishawaka.
And they do that purposefully, not just because they like playing a city rival, but they see that this is a great measuring stick for the program. And Mishawaka now in victory formation, they'll take some knees. I'm not saying Michael Davidson doesn't care about the regular season, because he's gone on record as saying if we're 2-7 or 3-6, I'm not going to be happy.
No.
But that said, he's realistic, knowing that he plays schools like Penn, Elkhart, Adams, who are all major enrollments, and this Mishawaka school. His big thing is he wants them ready for the tournament. And I will say this, he's had them ready for the tournament during his time as the Mishawaka students are waving goodbye to their friends at Marian from the far side.
Good turnout tonight. Boy, this is great for high school football to start with a game like this.
It also helps when the weather is idyllic.
By the way, I want to say hi to Coach Bob Witalski, who is out in Arizona, but will be watching this game, and he's going to be back in town in late September with the class of 69. Their reunions got delayed because of COVID the last few years, so he's going to try to make it back for that. We wish him all the best.
3rd and 12. If Mishawaka times this out properly, this could be the final snap of the game. Caden Smith trying to let that play clock get as far down to 1 as possible. He gets going. And that should do it from here at Atulski Field in Mishawaka. An impressive performance by the 8th-ranked Mishawaka Cavemen as they blank the 4th-ranked team in Class 3A, their rivals, the Marian Knights, by a final score of 38-0. Now don't go anywhere, because we've got a lot to talk about on the St. Joe County Police Department postgame show, including our electrifying play of the game and our player of the game, and it all comes your way next. 38-0, the Cavemen win it. You're watching the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
Welcome back into the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray after this 38-0 victory by the Mishawaka Cavemen over the Marian Knights here at Atulski Field. Very impressive performance by the 8th-ranked team in 5A. Yes, a 5A team you would expect to beat a 3A school, but maybe not by this much domination.
Total domination. You know, offensively, Chuck, they ran for almost 400 yards tonight, and it would have been more without the running clock. Miller did a great job, especially late in the game. I just think Chase Gooden is one of those guys that's going to be a workhorse all season. Over 1,000 yards last year. He's well on his way tonight. But, boy, they had some performances. Again, it's not always in the stats. A lot of times it's just in that attitude and the leadership on that field.
You could have made player of the game somebody from offensive, defensive line. They dominated. But I think what really stood out to me is a guy making a start for only about the 3rd time in his career, had 0 turnovers, 2 touchdowns, great passing, great running. That's why Brady Fisher, the quarterback of the Cavemen, is our player of the game. He's standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Brady Fisher. Congratulations, Brady, on being the player of the game. What does this mean coming out here to this field and winning 38-0 for you and the Cavemen?
It means a lot. This has always been a crosstown rivalry, and it means a lot to stick it to them.
You guys come into this game, a little bit of questions. First year starting for your brother coming in there, taking over for the reins for him. Just thoughts of coming in with this offense, big offensive line that you guys have.
Yeah, it's great. We have a good offensive line, good coaches get us prepared, and we've been preparing 2 weeks for this game, and it really showed.
You guys do a lot of off-season work and really prepare for not only this game but this season. What's your guys' expectations this year?
We expect to go far, and we expect to win ball games, and we expect to run the ball.
Talk about that LOD out there.
It means a lot to us. It means family. Every one of those dudes out there are my brothers.
Hey, congratulations. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, sir.
Back to you guys.
I believe that's our 3rd Fisher from Mishawaka to be a player of the game. CJ, then Justin, now Brady. At some point, I think Jen will get in there. I'm not sure about Mike. They're the parents.
Well, and yeah, Mike and Jen are the reason behind this. But, you know, his interview was very curt, very short. That'll expand, too, as the season goes along because he's going to be interviewed a lot. This was a very impressive performance for Keith Kinder. Really happy for him. Mike Davidson and the staff are in the locker room right now going over what they've got to do to improve.
Well, Mishawaka showed a lot of weapons tonight, and one of them was featured in our electrical workers electrifying play of the game as Local 153 liked what they saw out of Ethan Bryce. He only had 1 touch of the football tonight, but he made the most of it, jetting 60 yards for a touchdown just before halftime to make it 24-0 Mishawaka. So Ethan Bryce making the most out of his moment with a 60-yard TD, our electrifying play of the game. So an impressive performance by the Cavemen. Marian has a week to try to turn around and a pretty big challenge going down to Culver Academy and taking on Andy Dorrell's squad.
No question about that. You know, you look back to this game and Mishawaka went for a field goal early on, which kind of surprised us, but they made it as it turned out. That's all they needed.
That is indeed. Their defense played lights-out defense tonight. Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who worked diligently in the sun today to bring you this one, led by our producer, Dean Korsmo, who was also handling the live stream tonight. The bubbly one back in the truck, Tony Beltran, and a great cast of hardworking men who bring passion to the job each and every week. Doubleheader week next week, Friday afternoon at 4, Saturday morning at 11:30. It's Michigan High School football with Waterville Elite and Tyson Williams, their quarterback, visiting Justin Kinsey's Brandywine Bobcats. Then Friday night, 11, Saturday morning at 9. It's the banks of the Elkhart River. Northridge, last year's 4A runner-up, taking on the Elkhart Lions. Don't forget to follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for the latest in high school sports. Now, for my fellow Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, Chuck Freeby, once again the final. Mishawaka 38, Marian nothing. So long from the Princess City.